Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where, when, and where you're watching this video. Right. So, if this is your first time coming across my video or my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I drop a video. All right. So, in this tutorial, I want to show you how to choose the right color scheme when working on a design project. You see, one mistake many designers make is randomly picking colors. You see, but good design is something that is that ought to be intentional. So your color choices should always be guided by context. So let me show you 4 simple ways to decide the right color scheme to use for your next design. All right, so number one, let's look at considering the brand color scheme. Considering the brand color scheme. So I have some stuffs open here that I'll be using to illustrate this. Now, the first thing you should always check is the brand color whenever you have a project, either with a company, any organization, or a church. The first thing you should check is their brand color. So if you are designing for a business, for a church or an organization or a personal brand, they most likely already have brand colors. So those colors should guide your design, right? So for example, if a brand uses green and white, your design should stay within that color family, or use complementary colors that supports the brand identity. So this keeps the design consistent and recognizable. All right. So but you must remember that good designers respect brand identity. So you must, if you are a good designer. So for instance here, this a brand, Remas Multimedia. This is my brand. Now you find out that I have my own color scheme, right? So whenever you are designing, if you have a project, to design for a brand, always request for their brand guide. So from there you'll be able to see their color scheme, their color usage, how to use their colors and all that. So you get to see the color number, right? The hash number. So now you find out that this is the logo, right? So this is maybe an example of a design that is being created. So when creating for this brand, so your design should look like this. Why? Because this flows with the brand colors, right? So whenever, if you do otherwise, so that means you going against their branding rules. And the simple message that sends to your clients is that you are unprofessional. So number one, consider the brand scheme. So we have to look at number two. We are going to be considering picking colors from the image or the logo. Now, in a situation whereby the company or the brand or the church do not have what's it called, a brand guide, so the best thing you are going to do is, number one, try as much as possible to choose a color from their logo, because when you look at every brand's logo, their colors are always there, right? So an alternative technique is extracting colors from either the main image, that is if you are designing for a ministry or a church, or the logo used in the design. All right, so because without this brand giving me their brand guide, so I can extract what's it called, their colors from here, from the logo. So mainly looking at their logo, I know these are the three main colors: this green, this, and this. All right, so I can use that, and my job will be appreciated. So now let me give you another example. You can pick colors from the church logo, right? You can pick colors from the church logo. Now this is another example. This is a church design. Now if you look at the logo, you see purple and you see gold. So this tells of royalty. I love this color combination. All right, so now you find out that in this entire design, the colors that are used in this entire design, they are purple, right? which is this purple. Then we didn't use much of gold, but this flare lens gave a touch of gold to it. Then of course black. The reason why we use black is use the black is because of, you know, it's on a light background, so we have to just introduce black to it. But majorly the main color is the purple and the gold. All right, so this is another way that you can actually, you know, extract your color from the logo. You know, a situation whereby the church is not telling you this is our color, but merely looking at the logo. As a professional designer, you should know that makes you, you know, a professional. You should know that, okay, now, except in a situation where the church just tell you to overlook the color of the logo, that they want, you know, another specific color for a specified purpose. All right, so now another example is a situation like this, where you are designing, right? So you can pick a color from the clothes of the person on the photograph. Now I take this design as a case study. You know, this lady is wearing a green. All right, so why was this creating this flyer? All right, so the concept that was on my head as the designer in terms of the background was green, because green is more or less a dominant color in terms of her dressing. So you can imagine why she's putting on green. I am using a red background. It might not work, except it is a color that, you know, that complements the color of whatever the person is putting on. But if the speaker in the photo is wearing blue, for instance, you can incorporate shades of blue into the background, or maybe they use it on the shape or text highlight. So this technique will help the design feel unified and intentional. All right, it helps the design to feel unified and intentional. So most design tools today even allow you to use the color picker to sample colors from the image. Photoshop allow you to do that, and I believe as well that CorelDRAW should, and every other design tool should allow you, you know, to do that. And if you do, you are going to thank me later. So what you are going to see is that you are going to be having more professional outcome in your designs when you do. So number 3, we are going to consider the niche or industry, and this is where a lot of young designers most especially get it wrong. You know, you must understand that one important factor is the niche you are designing for. All right, so different industries communicate with different color modes. Sorry, different industry, they communicate with different color modes. Now, for example, if you are designing for a makeup artist, the target audience is mostly women. So the design should use colors that feel feminine, attractive, and luxurious, because their target audience are women. All right, so common colors in the beauty industry, they include pink, you can use purple, you can use black, and you can use gold. Now tell me, have you seen any makeup studio that uses blue as their color? I haven't seen. Have you seen any makeup studio that uses red? Right, I haven't seen. Right, so their major colors are pink, purple, black, gold. Now this is psychology that a lot of designers need to understand, because they want their brand to appeal to their audience, which is you know, the women. So because these beauty colors, they communicate beauty, elegance, and they communicate luxury. So on the other hand, if you are designing for a finance or technology, or you know, niche, you might use colors like blue, navy, or dark green, because they communicate trust and professionalism. So before you start designing, you must look at the brief, and one of the things you must learn to, you know, acquit yourself with is knowing the exact niche that design falls to, the niche that you are designing for. All right, so what industry am I designing for? Always ask yourself, right? So that a real estate flyer does not look like a makeup studio flyer, right? So now, for instance, I have this, right? This is a what kind of what was this industry called? I think is God have mercy. um they are not completely a real estate industry, but uh okay, I remember that now. Let us know. Okay, so but meanwhile, this prop link, so you now find out that I incorporated their colors, right, into the design, right? But a situation whereby you assume that the color has to be this and the brand provides their own color, you just have to play by their rules, right? That's so important. You play by their rules. So I take that away now. Now you find out that these a hairstylist stuff. Now the reason why we have to use these colors, purple, pink, and all that, is because they are targeting women, right? They're targeting women, right? So they have to use colors that are appealing to the feminine, I mean the females. Sorry, that's wrong English. All right, so now a situation whereby you see a guy plaiting hair well, they are behaving like women, so they also ought to like what women like, and colors are not exempted. So the next one, you see this a dry cleaning service flyer. All right, so you find out that these colors that are incorporated, number one, they work with the brand, with the niche, and number two, they are also from the logo. So you find out that when you apply this method, you're gonna get your results. Now the fourth method is what I called the target gender psychology. The target gender psychology. All right, so this is another factor to consider, the gender. All right, so certain colors naturally appeal more to certain audiences. All right, for example, now the feminine colors often include pink, purple, rose, peach. So when you are designing for that gender, so you have to give premium to these colors. You have to ensure that you are staying within this color, except they state otherwise. So while masculine colors are mostly blue, black, navy, dark green. All right, so if your design is targeting women as audience, you might lean towards softer or more elegant colors that are appealing to women. Right, so if your design targets men, you might use stronger and darker tone. The same thing applicable to fonts, right? So of course, this is this is not a strict rule. I'm not making a strict rule, but I'm trying to help you guide your decisions in choosing the necessary color to use while creating your design, right? So whenever, okay, let me show us this. All right, so for instance, I made this for a woman, right? So you can see the colors that they're using, and funny enough, this green I had to remove. I had, in the final version of this design, I had to remove this green because they didn't want anything like green on on the, though they wanted flowers, but they didn't want green on the design, so I had to take it off, right? So I did this for a man. So the target audience, now if you look at this design, you're going to find out that everything in this design is strong, right? Is strong. Why? Is because it's for the strong gender, which is the men. All right, so you now find out that I did this in mind, targeting, though this is targeting a general audience, but there is something about whoever that is hosting the program. So when is a man who is hosting the program, you can't give him a feminine vibe. All right, so another one is this. another one is this. Now, because this is a man, all right, so I assumed, or whoever designed this, because this is not my design, whoever did this assumed that he's targeting men. But majorly what I'm trying to prove here is that when you are targeting women as audience in your design, or you targeting men, right, so the approach in terms of color and in terms of fonts that you are going to use, they are very, very different. All right, so the moment you know this, you know Peso. So whenever you are choosing colors for a design, remember these 4 things. They are not rules, I've said it before, but they are my contribution to your design journey. Right, so number 1, follow the brand color scheme. Number 2, extract color from the logo or the image. Number 3, consider the industry or niche, right, that you are designing for. Then number 4, think about the target gender. That's the target gender psychology, right? So when you apply this principle, your designs will look more intentional, more professional, and more attractive. So if you find these helpful, leave a comment in the comment section, and do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right, also I have a course that I'm giving out. It's still on Valentine promo price, from 40,000 to 10,000. Now I want to encourage you, if you want to learn more, take advantage of that course, and is able to equip you from the beginner level to a pro level within the space of 30 days. All right, so thank you so much. See you in my next video.